Hey folks, Michael Neff here, Director of Gears Sports, and right now we're going to do a short video on capturing a player in Gears. We've done several videos here. One's about how you put the markers on the player, how you scale the player, how you create the skeleton or fit the skeleton. This one's going to be like, okay, so my customer comes in and how do I capture him and what am I looking for? You know, kind of like a typical, session, a Gears session, if you will. So we're going to load the software. We're going to put the player in the suit. We've calibrated the club. And I'm going to basically, once I've I usually take 5 or 6 golf swings with each club. And I think it's a good idea to get driver, iron, wedge, and putter at least. And that, depending, if you're marking up their clubs, it'll take you probably 10 minutes to mark up all their clubs and scale their clubs. If you're using clubs that you already have, that's going to go real fast. So, but really what I'm after is I want to see a trend. I want to see red flags. So, I want to see trends. So if that means I have to take 20 golf swings to see a trend, then so be it. If I can take 3 golf swings to see a trend, then so be it. But I think you need at least 5 or 6 golf swings to at least see a trend. We're looking for red flags. We're looking for some kind of something to kind of give us a little idea on which direction we should go. So that's normally how I do that. I captured Chance here, and I've got 2 swings here, so I'm going to capture 3 more, and then I'll come back to you. All right, so we've just captured 5 or 6 golf swings from Chance here, and now what? Gears is an evaluation tool. It's not a recommendation tool. We get that a lot. We want people to kind of have the software tell you what to do from here. There's just so many different ways to swing a golf club and so many different people that think that it should be done differently, that we really don't want to get in this predictive, or we don't want to recommend things. But there are ways to do recommendation tools, and if that's something you guys want us to add, we can do that. But it's a very good analysis tool. So we want you basically to be able to analyze this golf swing however you believe you should and whatever you think is best for your student. So I don't want to be the one to tell you what to do. But this is how I would go forward with Chance. The first thing I want to do is go to the summary page. And I want to kind of see, really kind of what the numbers are, what the club path, angle of attack. You can see there's a little scroll bar, kind of see all. So I'm kind of looking for the club numbers a little bit. And I'm certainly looking for face mapping. And as you can see here, this is the only shot that he got. He basically topped this or skied it. But everything is on the heel. Everything's like way over here. This is kind of his cluster. 4 out of his 6 shots were on the heel. I think if I did 3 or 4 more swings, we'd probably see a similar pattern, but inconsistent face mapping and more towards the heel. The swing path is outside to in, angle of attack slightly down. The one thing that we saw one shot where the face was actually closed. The rest of the shots were open, and that's that touch. So these are all big slices, high slices. And so I just kind of want to get kind of a little lay of the land, see where he's hitting it on the face, kind of see what some data is. Then I'll kind of scroll through the avatar and I'll kind of watch it, how I see what's going on here, and I'll kind of go to impact. These are the key positions, kind of go back here, kind of see the face is really open. And then, I'll just, when I see something, I'll go through this huge array of visual tools that we can add. So like hand path, for example, is best viewed from down the line. And you can see here, he's going to have a relatively decent hand path. It's going to come a little outside of where it started. But I'm just going to kind of start looking through all these different things. I'm going to look at posture lines. I'm going to look and see kind of where he's aiming. And that's probably best viewed from above. And you can see here he's aimed pretty well. His shoulders are slightly to the left. So really, the way you want to analyze this is, all of you are golf professionals, and you're learning basically these basic. You've learned how to
give golf lessons your whole life using 2D video, and we don't want you to do the same. We've given you a lot of, we don't want you to change how you do what you're doing. We're just giving you a tool to be able to analyze your players more thoroughly, find out what's really happening, what's the body doing to the club. So there's all sorts of these features. We have videos on every single one of these, as well as definitions on the website. So you can go through and find out what is lead shoulder adduction, why is it important, how do you use it, and you can certainly call me anytime that you want to find out, hey, what would you do in these situations? You can also ask the Gears community. That's one of the Web Locker purposes, so that you can communicate with the other professionals that, hey, what would you do in this situation? So I basically would use these tools, and I would kind of decide how I wanted to do the player. In this case, I would probably have him hit some more shots. I would probably work a little bit on his wrist angles. I definitely would work on his weight shift, and kind of work on his setup a little bit. He's standing pretty much straight up and down. All these things that you guys would normally teach using a video camera, I would probably go that direction with him. But there are some things that all these tour players have in common that we've captured. There's a video on that as well, so you can refer to that when you need to. So again, just go through we have a bunch of tools for you to use to analyze how you want. But after I've taken 5 or 6 swings and I see a pattern, then I'm going to basically go in and start analyzing the avatar. So if I wanted to basically compare him to himself, I would simply click here and I would type in his name, Chance, right here, and you would just click whichever before and after you wanted to do. So I'm comparing swing now, I'd be comparing swing 1 to swing 1. But if I wanted to change that swing, or I want to compare him to this one, I'd kind of go to that one, right? So again, there's ways to do that. And then right up here, I might use an overlay feature to see before and after things. I might go in line or side by side. You can use all these different view angles to be able to see what's happening. These are all the tools that you can use to see that kind of thing. Lead wrist angles, see kind of how the hinging is happening on the backswing, how it's hinging on the downswing. Right here in the middle of these two, you have 2 timelines here, right? Now I can grab this little diamond in the middle and I can run these at the same time. I can sync them up by simply clicking the top button, so that takes me to the top. And then I can just scroll these avatars through at the same time, or I can do one at a time. So there's lots of different ways to teach the game of golf, and there's a lot of different ways that coaches do what they do. So we've just given you a tool to be able to very accurately see what's happening and what's going on with the club. Definitely want to see what the club data is doing. I want to see what the lie angle is doing. I want to see what the shaft is doing, shaft lean. I want to see what the ball's doing. I want to see everything. I want to know if I'm fighting the player or the club, or if I'm fighting both of them. I want to know, how this player's creating the speed that he is. I want to know where that is happening. All these important things that you guys already know. But the question is, I've created this avatar, now what? I get that a lot. And again, we could add recommendation tools to the engine. We could say, hey, every tour player at impact has a 150-degree lead wrist adduction, so or set angle, or we could say, every tour player does this, this, and this. So we're going to give you a lot of videos on the website that kind of go through, hey, this is what we just captured so-and-so, and this is what they do, and here's kind of some new stuff. And then amongst each other, sending back and forth images, and hey, check out what I found. This is pretty cool, and look what I did, and this is how that worked, and this is how it can help you. So different things for different reasons. So again, all these are defined in other videos and how you would use them. So that's a basic how you would run a gear session. I might give him a lesson, then I would capture him again, and then I would compare. So I could show him before and after. I would create the video. I would create some images. I would update it to his locker so that he had some information going home, and I give him drills so that he could work on them, just like you do now with a 2D video session. So anyways, that's basically how
gears session is run. I would probably have him hit some irons, wedges, and putters too, so I can kind of see, hey, how does he react to the iron player, the iron swing a little bit different than the full swing, or the wedge shot, or kind of interviewing him, finding out really what's the problem. So, but we have given you a lot of tools to be able to show your student what's happening and be able to analyze what's happening. So, anyways, if you have any comments or questions, you can always call 1-855-GEARS now, and feel free to chime in on anything that you need. And this is basically a short video on how to capture a gears player.